It's one of the reasons why people go from feeling exhausted and sick to vibrant and healthy and energized. Is they're nourished, they're fully hydrated, they're doing self-care, they're doing exercise, and we're making sure they get enough sleep. And when you put all that together, you end up with a body that has enough energy and in time, even high energy. A lot of people struggle with energy, and so I wanted to talk about the most common issues that create low energy and what you can do to fix it. Now, the most important thing to hit up here, before we get into the technical stuff, is that a lot of people who are tired all the time are just not getting enough sleep. So everyone wants to talk about diet, like what do I eat to have more energy? But you can eat the most beautiful, perfect, healing, healthy diet, and if you're getting 3 hours of sleep a night, I expect you to be tired, okay? So one of the most important things you can work on is if you're chronically tired is making sure you get enough sleep. And enough sleep might be different for different people. So for example, when I was very sick, so I spent 12 years of my life very sick with lupus. And when I was sick, between the kidney failure and the arthritis and then the blood clots, all that kind of stuff, I needed 12 hours of sleep a night to feel normal. Normal for me, as normal as you can feel with chronic illness, right? 12 hours. My friends used to make fun of me that even if I stayed up till 2 a.m., I would sleep until 2 p.m. The next day because my body automatically needed 12 hours for me to be able to get up and function. As a healthy person, I've been healthy 18 years. I've never had a relapse of lupus or any of the problems that I used to have. And as a healthy person, now naturally, if I do not set an alarm, I'll get between 8 and 9 hours. Now, for some people, that still seems like a lot. That's my beauty rest. That's my rest that if I don't set an alarm clock and I just lay down in the bed, I will wake up sometime between 8 and 9 hours later. That's my sleep amount. So one of the ways that you can try to figure that out for yourself is don't set an alarm. See how long your body wants to sleep. That's the right amount of sleep. And if you do need an alarm, then you should be setting back your going to bed time to try to get that time. Now, I know a lot of people struggle with sleep issues, and those are things we need to work on. In my rapid recovery group, I kind of personalize it, like try to see like what's getting you up. Are you having trouble falling asleep? Are you having trouble staying asleep? You might need to get some help in this area. So sleep hygiene is something you could Google if you have trouble falling asleep. And then if you wake up in the middle of the night, what is it that wakes you up? If you wake up to pee, fall right back asleep, fine. If you have anxiety or the things coming up, maybe there's things you need to do on it. Maybe I could do a whole talk on sleep one day, but it's a very important thing that if you're tired, that you get enough sleep. So that's one thing, very, very important. The other thing that can be really hard for people that can create extreme amounts of exhaustion is stress and anxiety. It's not really talked about much, right? But when you're in a state of constant stress or anxiety, it actually uses up a lot of your energy. How many of you ever felt that where you had an emotionally difficult day and you just felt exhausted, like you could just drop, like you'd been running marathons back to back all day? When you are in a state of high stress and anxiety, your adrenals are just pumping, and it's using up everything you have, and it can make you feel exhausted. So most people I see with chronic anxiety are both amped up because they're nervous and exhausted at the same time. So things that can help your moods, help you release stress can be really important too if you're chronically fatigued. So doing self-care, doing things that help you feel better emotionally, getting the support you need, all very, very important when you're dealing with chronic stress and anxiety. One, just for your own mental health, and two, for your energy. Everyone wants to jump to like, it's a virus, it's this, it's that. For many people, it's the fact that they're constantly in a stressed out mode and it's just using up all the energy you have. So that's another thing that causes chronic fatigue that's just not discussed enough. So please make sure that you're doing self-care and that you're getting help with that. The more difficult things are in your life, the more aggressively you need to go after self-care and support, whether it's with a therapist, exercise, whatever it is that helps you feel better. And speaking of exercise, a lot of times when people have been chronically tired for a long time, they think about it as conserving energy. I need to conserve my energy, and they'll stop exercising. The fact is that exercise actually increases energy in the long term. So if you had a really tough workout, you might need to rest. But when people start exercising, they have more energy. I've had a lot of people who've done my rapid recovery group for chronic fatigue or even private rapid recovery where that's their biggest issue. And I have one woman that I'm thinking about right now who's in my group who was in bed all day. She got out of bed just to make her smoothie and then brought the smoothie back with her and laid in bed the rest of the day. And I was like, we have to do more. So smoothies, yes. And I need you to get out of the bed and get on the floor, do some yoga activities. Now we got to get you out and walk. And by the end, she'd been in that bed for years. By the end of 6 weeks, she took a video of herself hiking up and down the streets of San Francisco because she had full energy and she felt good. It was important to get the nutrients in, the self-care, and movement. It is amazing how much better you feel energy-wise when you get that exercise in. Now, if you do exercise, make sure you exercise early in the day, because if you exercise at night, you make it hard to fall asleep. But it's something that's often neglected. When people get very sedentary, they often tend to be also very low energy. Now, the other reasons that people are chronically tired are malnourishment and dehydration. So if you're malnourished, well, much of the population is malnourished. You're not getting enough vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, antioxidants, all that stuff that helps power up our bodies. Well, that's an important thing to recognize. Make sure that you hyper-nourish to restore that deficit and to get yourself as healthy as possible. And dehydration. A lot of people are absolutely exhausted because they are so dehydrated. We cannot get all the chemical processes moving that need to move for the body to function properly. And unfortunately, what happens is when people are tired, they often will over-caffeinate, which puts more stress on those adrenals. So it makes you more tired overall. It makes you pee more, and it makes you more dehydrated. And when people start getting in the full hypernourishment levels of water, they find their energy goes up again as well. So these are all things that I work on in things like rapid recovery. And it's one of the reasons why people go from feeling exhausted and sick to vibrant and healthy and energized. They're nourished, they're hydrated, they're fully hydrated. They're doing self-care and working on their stress and anxiety and depression to help themselves emotionally get better. They're doing exercise that's tolerated, and we're making sure they get enough sleep. And when you put all that together, you end up with a body that has enough energy and in time, even high energy, or as one of my clients said, Dr. G energy. All that is possible when you take care of yourself. So that was what I wanted to share with you today. Let's all take good care of ourselves and get some energy